We have Shadow Suicune coming out in Pokemon Go in raid battles for the 5-star Shadow raids for the entire month of May. So in this video, number one, we are going to go after the counter guide. We're going to cover some of that details, and then I'm going to cover some best of the best guys and talk about what should we do with Suicune in the Shadow form in Pokemon Go. So welcome to the Trader Club. Here we go. Suicune is out, guys, and please make sure to use Party Power when going after this Pokemon. It is a little bit more bulky than the other two, so it might take a little bit longer to go down, and this Pokemon is a pretty cool shiny, but is it relevant? We'll find out at the end of the video, and if you don't care about the counter guide, you want to check out straight to the end, you guys can do so. Alright, so Suicune is an all-water type Pokemon. This Pokemon is going to max out at 3,372, so it does not max very high. It has an attack of 180, a defense of 235, and a stamina of 225. It is going to be weak to two things, which is going to be grass as well as electric, and it's going to be resistant to fire, ice, steel, and water. And the weather boost for this Pokemon is going to be obviously in rainy weather. And as far as its movesets, as its fast moves, it's going to get extra sensory, snarl, hidden power, as well as ice fang. So the hidden power can be multiple other things. And then as far as the charge moves, it'll get ice beam, bubble beam, water pulse, scald, as well as hydro pump. So being that this Pokemon is low on the CP totem pole and that it doesn't get crazy moves, it's a little bit more of the defense and stamina. Maybe it could have a decent spot in PvP. We will find out later in the video. And as far as the 100% IVs, under every condition but rainy weather, it will be 1704 as the 100% IV. But then in the rainy weather, it will boost it all the way to 2130. And let's not forget that the shiny is a pretty cool blue mohawk looking flowy thing going on. And according to Pokebattler, at level 40 trainers, it's going to take 3.89 trainers to take it down. So it is the bulkiest of the three at level 40 counters. Obviously, you can get that up, potentially trio it, but it will take quite a bit of time. And then also that's going to waste up your shards and allow you to do a whole lot less raids. So please try to use more people to be able to go after this Pokemon and take it down faster. Which then leads us into our top counters. Well, let's think about this Pokemon. First and foremost, the recommended Mega that I'm going to give to you guys is going to be Kyogre. Reason being, obviously it's a primal, but you know what I'm talking about. This Pokemon is going to boost all water type counters, right? So, and water types in return. So yes, you will be able to get as much XL candy as possible coming from at a Mega level 3 using that primal Kyogre, catching the Suicune. And then also it's going to boost all of the electric moves because electric is boosted in the rainy weather, which will be beneficial to us because we're going to be able to use electric type attackers to go after this Pokemon. However, if you want to use a Mega that's going to attack it the fastest and take it down the quickest, that would be Mega Sceptile with Fury Cutter as well as Frenzy Plant. In spot number 2, we are going to be getting Kartana. Absolute beast Pokemon. Unfortunately, I didn't get a hundo, but still a very highly recommended Pokemon with Razor Leaf as well as Leaf Blade. In spot number 3, we have Xurkitree with Spark and Discharge. In spot number 4, we have Shadow Raikou with Thunder Shock, and Wild Charge and Xurkitree are going to be the top 2 electric types going after this Pokemon. So if you guys are able to use this, you can do it and help out. And just as a reminder, guys, if somebody is using a Kyogre, Kyogre also does get Thunder that you can put on as a second charge move, and this would allow you to boost these attacks. And if you want to go a different direction, Mega Manectric is okay, but I would pass here. And then in spot number 6, we have Thunder Shock and Wild Charge on the Shadow Electivire. In spot number 7, we have Charge Beam as well as Fusion Bolt on the Zekrom. In spot number 8, we have Spark as well as Wild Charge on the Shadow Magnezone. Dragonattail and Dragon Ascent on Mega Rayquaza in number 9, and that is surely because of how powerful that Pokemon is. In spot 10, we have Thunder Shock and Thunderbolt on Shadow Zapdos. In spot 11, we have Shaman. In spot 12, we have Therian Thundurus with Volt Switch as well as Wild Bolt Storm. In spot 13, we're going to have Shadow Tangrowth with Vine Whip and Power Whip. Spot 14 is going to be Mega Venusaur, which is obviously quite a bit outdone by the Sceptile. Spot 15, we have the Shadow Luxray. In spot 16, we're going to have the Shadow Sceptile. And if you guys want to keep going down on the list, you can do so. But we have quite a bit of Pokemon here and some budget Shadow counters in there as well. And if you guys don't want to do a Shadow version of them, you could just do the regular version. So while they won't be as strong, it is something that we can take into account. Alright guys, so as far as the weather conditions to grab this Pokemon, number 1, rainy weather is going to boost all of our counters to level 25, and it's going to catch us the Suicune that can be caught at level 25, and remember that hundo is going to be 2130. Alright, there you have it guys. As far as best of the best for this Pokemon, unfortunately, it is not going to be well ranked in meta attacker standpoint. So we can just skip over that standpoint, but we do want to see how does it do in PvP in GBL. In the Great League, it's going to be ranked 346 with Snarl, Ice Beam, and Scald, and then the Shadow form it's going to be 436. So unfortunately, right off the bat, looking at it in the Great League, it is not super well ranked, but it can get better, guys, because it can power up. What about the Ultra League? In the Ultra League, it's going to be ranked 122 and 177 in the Shadow with Snarl, Ice Beam, and Scald. Alright, so I know some of us may look at this and be like, well, do I really want that? Honestly, guys, not really that bad, to be quite honest with you. And while there are some better Pokemon out there, you know, some people do well with, you know, ranks 100s, 150, depending on how it fits in with your team. And this one does get Snarl, it gets Scald, and it does get Ice Beam, so it does have some unique movesets, and it's only going to be weak to 2 things. It's going to resist 4 things, but everything else is going to hit it neutral. And finally, in the Master League, 122 for the regular and 132 for the Shadow. So unfortunately, guys, would I recommend to raid hard for this Pokemon? Try to get it because it's so worth it. To me, not really. I'm going to casually raid for this Pokemon and hopefully get the Shadow Shiny, and that is going to be where Shadow Suicune sits in my repertoire in the game. Let me know if you plan to use it in a different regard in Pokemon Go. So thank you guys as always. Love and appreciate you guys. To all of my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes your support, subscription, participation to X level. I'm going to see you guys out in the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.